Like you heard, my name is Obi Ezekwesili, and I'm here to speak to you about the unconventional public leadership development initiative that we launched on our continent. And this is the picture of me and my dad when I was a child, or a toddler, or a baby. And I asked my dad, why is my country not as beautiful as the ones I see on television? And he said to me, it's the matter of differences in quality of governance. And then I said to him, when I grow up, I will change that. Well, many decades after, I became one of the co-founders of Transparency International. Some of you may know it. It's a global anti-corruption agency that brought the issue of corruption to global attention and efforts to tackle. And then development policy expert, Minister of Education, Minister of Minerals, Vice President of the World Bank. And what I found is my dad was right. The absence of good governance is the greatest obstacle to Africa's development, not just Nigeria's. And so, what is good governance, you might ask? Well, for us, we consider it to be the presence of sound economic policies and other such policies that are necessary for growth, the existence, the building of the right frameworks, regulatory and institutional frameworks, as well as prudent investment in the production of public goods and services that countries, citizens, and businesses need in order to grow. So the lack of good governance in my country, based on that conversation I had with my father 50 years ago, does indeed exist as a problem that must be solved. And that's what SPPG is seeking to do. What we have is this kind of a classic situation. This is a ranking by the Economists of London. And it showed that Nigerian lawmakers are at the top of lawmakers' pay in the world. How do you square that against a country of 200 plus million people with 133 million in pernicious poverty? It just doesn't make sense. Poor governance is a classic case of a dominant political culture where the public leaders put their interests above the public good, the well-being of their people. And that's what we're solving for. In solving for it, we call attention to the fact that additional foreign aid, more natural commodities find, will not be a substitute for good governance to develop Africa. Therefore, Africa needs an urgent rescue mission by Africans. And that's what we're doing through the School of Politics, Policy, and Governance. So our solution is to build a non-partisan public leadership development system that is replicable for the rescue of Africa from poor governance. Basically, we're admitting, finding and admitting Africa's top talent to go into politics and public leadership. When we train them on customized, value-based, as well as very technical policy, evidence-based curriculum to enable them solve Africa's most intractable problems. And we have a model where we assemble the best of faculty, academics, practitioners, experts, and they train these people in what is similar to what you would know as the U.S. Navy SEAL. So the Marine SEAL and then the Special Air Service in the UK. Rigorous training. 712 graduating in the last 4 years. 55 have run for office in Nigeria. 4 ran for office in the parliamentary elections in Senegal. We are into 4 countries now: Nigeria, Senegal, Kenya, Ghana. And we're scaling big to 20 African countries and 10,000 graduates to come out of Nigeria, 35,000 to come out of 19 countries in Africa. a very strong team that are very individualized within the countries that are replicating our model. We are aiming for this number that leads to a people who then run for office with the support, because when they graduate, they admitted into what we call our alum network that continues to resource them on the basis of the kind of value we want. We want people of character, people of competence, people who are capable. And therefore, when they are part of this network, what happens is that ultimately we flood Africa's political space with a different kind of political mindset, not the dominant mindset right now that overrides the common good for personal interests. And then we get a new political culture, which then means that we will begin to get higher growth rates and prosperity in Africa, because no one can solve Africa's problem like we can. And who is paying? We are also paying, and others are supporting us to pay. And here is this. I ask is this. We really can change a lot of what you know as today's Africa, where estimates says that 90% of remaining world's poverty will be on our continent by 2030. Totally unacceptable. And that's why we are on this journey. An intimidating vision, I guess. But listen, another father in Africa, Nelson Mandela, the epitome of selfless public leadership, said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." We're starting to do it. You may want to join us.